In this video, I want to go over an interesting rumor that is circulating regarding the PlayStation Plus games for the month of May. Take it with a grain of salt as always, but these Plus rumors have turned out to be right a lot of the times. Final Fantasy VII Remake got kind of leaked, and there's been a lot of accuracy, so want to go over this. I'll leave a link to that article in the description box as well. We got a release window for Chernobylite that is coming in July for PS4. Definitely a game you should keep an eye on. Later in 21 for PS5. And interestingly enough, publisher Sega and developer Ryuga Gotoku Studio have launched a Judgment Day countdown website. So obviously Judgment was the game that just got upgraded to the PS5 as well. We'll talk that in just a little bit. But the May PlayStation Plus games have said to be leaked. Again, take it with a grain of salt with these rumors and things like that. They are noted to be Battlefield 5 and Stranded Deep, and those would be the PlayStation 4 titles, and another PlayStation 5 game would be to be confirmed. You know, the PlayStation 5 games have usually been pretty freaking solid, so we'll see what it is. I could see something like Godfall. I saw that being thrown around as an idea, so you know, that remains to be seen, but Battlefield 5 and Stranded Deep is pretty solid. I know Battlefield 5 initially kind of had a weird reception, to say the least, but it's been a game that's made a lot of updates and improvements, and not a bad FPS at all at this point. Stranded Deep came to PS4 in 2020. It's a survival game. You take on the role of a plane crash survivor stranded somewhere in the Pacific Ocean. A lot of survival games these days, but that's one I think that would complement Battlefield 5 pretty well, as they're two starkly different games. Whatever that PS5 game could be, you know, whether it be a Godfall, I know everybody would be super excited about that. That's a little bit of a joke. But yeah, I would say that's a pretty decent month. I mean, the PlayStation Plus standard has been elevated quite a bit. We had that FF7 remake month. We had the Oddworld month. Now people are expecting banger months every month, so yeah, I feel like depending on what that PS5 game is, if this rumor is to be believed, that would be a pretty decent month, but not the best month of the year, just because, again, the standard has been elevated so much. But if you guys remember, some of those 2020 months for PS Plus games, you guys were getting pretty upset about them. I see the comments section, so this is still, I believe, a far cry from some of those months that really tick some people off. So we'll see how it turns out. Obviously, the Plus games will be revealed probably on Wednesday. That would be April the 28th, so we'll keep you guys posted on that. Alright, moving on from that, Chernobylite launches in July for PS4, later in 21 for PS5. Would be interesting to see how the game would perform on the PS4 versus the PS5, but this is actually a game coming from studio The Farm 51, and if you're not familiar with them, they've done a couple of other stuff, most notably Get Even, which I didn't think was a, you know, slam dunk horror title, but I thought it was a pretty interesting little game, and definitely a studio that has potential to develop into something of note, and I am really looking forward to Chernobylite and seeing what it could do. Now, this is a game that's in early access on PC, so that is something to note, but it's noted to be a RPG survival horror title mixing the free exploration of its disturbing locations with challenging combat, unique crafting, and non-linear science fiction story. Build your team, survive, and reveal the twisted secrets of Chernobyl in the 3D scan recreation of the real exclusion zone. So, you know, I think this is a game that from a description standpoint, people could get really into, and we'll see how the game ultimately turns out, but it has a very positive reception on Steam based on its recent reviews. 55 reviews, 85% positive, and that is pretty decent, all things considered. Mostly positive, 2,413 reviews, 73% positive all time, so hopefully could make some improvements leading up to its full release, and we'll see how that pans out at the end of it. Lastly, now this is really interesting. Judgment Countdown website teases May 7th announcement. Now, with these countdown announcements, sometimes you get really cool stuff, like the World Ends With You sequel got announced through a countdown website, and sometimes you get like meme stuff, like a movie that'll never come west or something like that. So you always gotta, you know, keep your expectations in line, but hopefully this is something that, you know, points to a new Judgment game or something that, you know, falls into that kind of announcement where it is a new game. You know, what could it be? Like an anime series? I don't think it's an anime series, so It should also be noted on Gematsu, they noted back in March, Sega filed a trademark for Lost Judgment in Japan, so who knows if those things are linked together, but this is one studio that has been making quite the waves. Yakuza Like a Dragon got received so well, and I think Sega is really invested into them for the long term. I mean, they've been around for a very long time, but it seems like, yeah, they've always done really big business in Japan, but it seems like they're really hitting their stride over here in the West as well. Like, I talk to people, and everybody I talked to loved Yakuza Like a Dragon, and it was such... You know, there was a little bit of skepticism going into that just because it was moving to this turn-based format, and pretty much everybody I talked to that played the game loved it, and from what I played, I really enjoyed it as well, but that really surprised me. Like, I thought it was gonna be a bit of a 50-50 split with that game, with some people really liking the, you know, changes they made with that, and then some people, absolutely hating it, but it seemed like everybody liked it, at least from an anecdotal standpoint from what I noticed. So a lot of positive momentum with this studio, and really positive momentum with Sega as a whole, with what they're doing with Persona, what they're doing here, and they've got a lot of other projects under their belt. P5 Strikers was really good earlier, so a lot of cool stuff coming from them, and hopefully this is something that is going to be an exciting announcement and not some meme that we all get disappointed by. But that's gonna wrap up this one. Again, let me know your thoughts on that PS Plus rumor. Link to that article in the description box below. Battlefield 5 Stranded Deep and another PS5 game, is that something you would get excited for? Just looking at BF5 and Stranded Deep, I feel like those are two pretty solid offerings. I know Battlefield 5, it's an EA title, and it does have crossover with EA Play, and that is kind of annoying when you have all these subscription services and there's so much crossover with the games offered, much like, you know, Instant Game Collection having Days Gone, and that being a little bit of a bummer where there is that crossover where you already had access to this game, but then it's a plus game for the month, and that's kind of a little bit whack when you do have multiple subscription services, but still something to keep an eye on. Chernobylite, definitely a game you guys should keep your eyes on as well. I think this is a game that's going to be right up the alley of a lot of people. And lastly, Judgment Countdown has been posted. Judgment Day Countdown, I should say. Hopefully that's an exciting announcement coming from Sega and Ryuga Gotoku Studio. We'll see that May 7th, 7 a.m. Pacific, 10 a.m. Eastern. Oh, and by the way, if you guys didn't check out Judgment on the PS4 and have a PS5, Judgment just came out on the PS5 yesterday. Unfortunately, it's not a free upgrade. Always find it whack when that is. It was released at a budget price point of, I believe, $39.99, so at the very least, they cut you a little bit of slack on the price point, but yeah, that's one thing I don't like to see when there isn't a free upgrade, but that's a game that if you haven't played it, would highly recommend it. Great theme song on it as well, great music in general, and visually really good, so check that out if you haven't. That's gonna wrap up this one. Sound off with all of your thoughts in the comment section down below. Thank you for watching, and goodbye. Hey guys, we hope you enjoyed the video, and if you did, make sure to hit the subscribe button, and if you're already subscribed, do us a favor and hit the bell icon. This way you'll be notified whenever we post a new video. That's the best way to keep up with all of our uploads, and we usually try to upload 2 videos a day. And with the bell icon hit, you'll be notified whenever we do upload a video. As always, thanks for watching.